Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into another conversation with one of the authors of Inspired Connections. I'm here today with Kate Ryan Taylor, who is a safety coach and consultant. But before we jump into her journey with Inspired Connections, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Crystal Hill. I'm the founder of Hill House Publishing, and I'm really passionate about creating awakening and empowerment for humanity through the books that we do, and in the process, helping the contributors to create personal transformation for professional expansion. So, Kate, share with us a little bit about what your expectations were going into the book and then what actually happened.
Well, I must say that what I expected and what happened were completely different, but in a good way. Um, I thought, yes, I'd be writing a bit of a story, putting myself out there, and just starting small by being in a multi author book rather than my own book. But what I didn't expect is that it really got to the heart of what I do. Like when I analyze myself, I thought I do these sorts of things because I like the logic, I like the analyzing, all that sort of thing. But I started digging deep when I was writing this story and discovered little roots in experiences that I'd had both as a child and as a teenager that led me to have such strong views in different areas about what I thought was safe and what wasn't, and how it was a real personal feeling and experience for me rather than just an action. And so it was a bit of a breakthrough for me in some ways. And it highlighted something I've always believed is that your personal story leads the way for what you become in your future life. Yeah, I love the interaction with other authors. Whilst I haven't been able to get to all the live sessions that Crystal's put on, even having the access to replays, having a bit of a chat through the program Slack and other different things, you've got support the whole way through. So you're not in it on your own, and you can bounce ideas and you have that real foundation that you just don't have if you just start by yourself.
Mm, yeah, I love what you shared about, you get to reflect on your journey and why you do what you do. And I think that's
Yes,
that's
yeah.
what makes me so passionate. I always love understanding why do people do what they do, and it sounds like for you it really just solidified that. And before we kind of hit record, we're talking about chunking down. Do you want to share a little bit more about how you now show up in your workplace having done this book?
I did some training for some of the staff that I was working with recently, and instead of just focusing on the training content, I used a lot more stories in the training to make them connect more personally with it, realizing how it matters more to me on a personal level. So it actually has enhanced what I do in my actual everyday work. So rather than just say, okay, I'm going to do a fire drill, and I get role plays happening and get them thinking about the experience of the people within it so that they start to take ownership of it and start to think out of the box. And it becomes a process rather than just a tick and flick or a thing. So, and training other content, I'm adding more personal examples and asking them how they feel about it. So I'm actually bringing the feelings a little bit more strongly into the training than I did before. So even though
Mm,
I asked it before, now it's like a bigger chunk, um, because it also gives me the chance to talk openly about my own experiences, both growing up or in workplaces, so that it highlights that I know what I'm talking about because I feel it too. And I've been in their side where it may not make sense, where it does make sense, all the different types of mixed feelings that you can get as well.
mm. I really love that because there are studies that actually show that if we share stories, people will remember that a lot more than if we just share facts. And people also
Yes.
don't remember what you tell them, but they always remember how you made them feel. So if you're bringing more feelings into your trainings, that is just such a beautiful outcome. Have you noticed any changes or any more retention of the people that you've done the training with, or different type of feedback?
It's more word of mouth referrals. So, um, to put it bluntly, at this time last year, I'd only really started out more as a freelancer with the safety because I was doing other work. But I've actually got bookings for the next 6 months now just through doing that sort of thing. So I've got a training session. Instead of having 2 or 3 people in a country town, I've got 15 lined up for a training session in March, I've got a membership launching in a few weeks as well, which is engaging people on a weekly basis on Zoom doing the same sort of thing, but for all the remote areas. And I've now got like 5 clients that are constant each week touch base. So they're not one-off clients, they're ongoing clients. So it would easily have added about another 45, 50 grand to my business for this coming year.
That is such a tangible outcome just because you've taken the time to write a chapter where you've allowed yourself to be personally, tap into your personal story, realizing the power of personal stories, now bringing that into your training, and you're adding another 50K to your bottom line. That is
Yes.
amazing. That is
Yes.
amazing. Well done. Yes. So who would you recommend comes into a collaborative book process like this, and why with Hill House Publishing?
Um, I say, like, the way that you structure things, if you're someone who likes things to be actually organized and in an order, I definitely go here. But also needing the support. But anyone who's some sort of consultant or somewhere even in the early stages of their business journey, it will help you to define your story more strongly as well as put yourself out there. Um, so I'd even say the 25 through to 50 odd, where you got the young entrepreneurs who are just out there getting started, getting to be known, but not quite big enough yet. This is ideal. This is a launch pad, and it's also a foundation at the same time, because it's going to, as you say, solidify what your experience is and why you're doing it. And you'll find that the moment that you've got that story sorted out, you'll be able to write that landing page. You'll be able to refine your membership area because you'll just be like that. You'll be focused. You'll know what you're aiming for.
Yeah, it is a really good point. Like the clarity that comes from writing, taking the time to write a chapter, the messaging, as you said, becomes so much easier to write. So yeah, thank you so much for highlighting that and for sharing your story in this book, because it really made me reflect on safety in a whole new way, and how is that connected to relationships and what is required. So yeah, very grateful for your contribution to the book and for our conversation today. Thanks, Kate.
Thanks.